my previous video, when I was trying to refute Alex O'Connor in the Jordan Peterson interview, apparently I made a very crucial mistake, and you guys really made me pay for it in the comment section. I did a poor job in trying to refute the fact Alex O'Connor claimed that God could be evil and that he possibly lied to Adam and Eve. Okay? Firstly, we must identify what's God's purpose. God's purpose is to glorify himself because the Bible makes it clear that it's by his glory that all things that are made are made. However, I found that a lot of you were saying God lied and the serpent didn't and God is evil for knowing they was going to sin and still punish them. First, if there is no God, then what's evil? And you're very welcome to base it on what you feel. However, you would just make that claim totally irrelevant because it wouldn't really matter. And something that I really picked up with you guys use the Bible to critique it. However, when I use the Bible to defend it, you have a problem. However, I would like to prove Jesus to you by without using the Bible. If you just simply look at our history, it's a historical fact there was a man named Jesus Christ. Yeah, it doesn't prove he's God, right? Now in Isaiah 53, 700 years before Jesus Christ was actually born, again the Bible records there's going to be a man named Jesus and he's going to die the exact same date that he died according to history. So, the Bible literally documents before his return and after. The possibilities of that is insanely slim. Now let's look at what Jesus says about himself in Luke 24:44 to 53. These are my words I speak to you, while I was still with you, that all things which are written about me in the law of Moses, and the prophets, and the Psalms must be fulfilled. Now, this poses trouble for the Gnostic groups and shows that the same God in which Moses speaks of in Deuteronomy 6:4, Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. Hebrew word there is ihad, united or unified, showing the Trinitarian concept back then. And for those saying Jesus said nothing about being a son, well, he may not have said that. However, if you look at Matthew 11:27, where he says, My Father has given me all things, and you look at John 10:30, saying, The Father and I are one, yes, Jesus probably never say he was the Son, but he really emphasized that he had a Father who was in heaven, who he came to glorify. Now, did God lie? So, like last video, you guys really came for my throat, saying God lied to Adam and Eve. However, that's not the case. First, why would God not want Adam and Eve to have the knowledge of good and evil? The hint is in the chapter itself. Notice what happens when Adam gets caught. Immediately he tries to deceive God by hiding and goes on to blame God to save himself by implying it was the woman whom God put before him, even though God only put the woman there to comfort his loneliness. Yeah, but nobody died. You're right, but you pose another problem in Genesis 3:20. We see God make garments of skin to clothe Adam and Eve. Now, whose skin is he using? Clearly, it can't be Adam and Eve's, right? What God is doing here is making and teaching the first blood sacrifice to prolong the life for Adam and Eve so they could produce offspring which God can use to redeem everyone through Christ. And we see Abel, the first offspring, do the sacrifice. Where do you think he got it from or learnt it? It was God. This shows us that God was for Adam and Eve from the start, that he always had a plan for them. In fact, I would go as far as to say the most asked question, why is there evil if there's such a good God? That question is in the very being that you're trying to glorify, which is the serpent. The only reason why we have evil is because Adam and Eve directly didn't trust God and chose to do what God said not to do and listen to the serpent, whom you guys are saying is the truth speaker. It would have been a different story if the world was at absolute peace as a result of eating the fruit. However, that's not the case, showing that God was right all along.